Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to From the Sideline podcast. I'm Francis.
And I'm Peter, and today we have our first episode in over a month, and we have a lot to recap. So we're going to start off by talking about the NBA Finals, and then for pretty much the rest of the episode, we're just going to dive into a ton of baseball content, because that's pretty much the main thing that's happening in the sports world, and it's been pretty crazy, especially for the Mariners.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit the follow button and the notification bell to find out for future episodes, and thank you for listening. So without further ado, let's get started talking about the NBA Finals. The Pacers versus the Thunder. Obviously, the Thunder won in seven. Yeah. Came down to the wire. Kind of a underwhelming finish with Tyrese Haliburton going down in the first quarter or second quarter. But, I mean, it was a good battle, and I think it really goes to show how much the game of basketball is evolving right now, because, like, you look at the Pacers and they're not a super flashy team, and I wouldn't call Tyrese Haliburton a superstar or even like a big star right now because of how inconsistent he is, but like just their team basketball and their defense and fast break offense, like it just meshes so well together that they're able to beat like flashy teams like, I don't know, even the Cavs are kind of like a team basketball team as well, and like the Celtics, but you look at like teams with superstars like Giannis and the Bucks
and the Suns.
Yeah, they're able to just take down those kind of monsters now, which wasn't really a thing like 5 years ago with super teams.
Yeah, I think this is sort of like a return to old school basketball, so yeah. The old heads would definitely like this. But back to Haliburton, he should be the one who's being called the anomaly, not Jason Tatum, because I've never seen like someone who can put the team on their back like that, like he did in so many of those playoff games, and then he just drops like 13 points, or like he just vanishes on the court, and he doesn't score the basketball like that, yet he still helps the team so much. He's just such an interesting player, and I feel like there's not a lot of that in the NBA right now. And honestly, maybe not having that like elite superstar is the key to success. I mean, obviously the Thunder are the ones who won, but like if you look at, like Francis was saying, like the Cavs, like they have Donovan Mitchell, they have M. Mobley, they have all these guys, but none of them are like a top 5 player in the NBA. And I think that's actually really important and vital in this kind of era of the NBA, because you have to pay these guys so much money, and then they get in their own heads, and then they have to like put the team on their back. But when you have a whole support system, it can really work. And especially for the Pacers, you could argue that I don't really know where I'm going with this, but that you could argue that they won the series based on like talent level. They way outperformed the talent of their team, and the Thunder underperformed the talent of their team, I would say. So if they were just like better skilled, they would have won, because they just they're like a better team than the Thunder. But the Thunder, let's move on to them. They have so much talent. Just an absolutely stacked roster. This was kind of the right outcome. It kind of hurts as a Seattle fan, but Shea, MVP season, even though it was undeserved, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, also he probably didn't even deserve Finals MVP. I think Jalen Williams kind of emerged. I mean, I would probably still have given it to Shea, but Jalen Williams dropping 30 points, 40 points, kind of outscoring Shea in some of the games. But, I mean, you can't take away from Shea, because the reason Jalen Williams is getting those looks and, like, being able to take the ball up is because Shea's being, like, face-guarded the entire game. I mean, this is really a big chess battle between the Pacers and the Thunder. The Pacers were obviously locked in on Shea and, like, just focusing on him not going off. But then Jalen Williams, they were, like, kind of hoping that Jalen Williams would try to step up but couldn't really step up to the situation, and then they could just shut down their entire offense by shutting down Shea. But we really saw J-Dub emerge from this series and turn into like an actual superstar. Scoring the ball wise, he can score like in all 3 levels. He can get to the rim. Like, get him going downhill is pretty much unstoppable. Like, with his size and frame at his position, he's a great shooter, mid-range and three-pointer, and then his ability to defend all 5 positions on defense. I think Jalen Williams is going to be a top 10 player in the NBA next season. And I also think, this might be a hot take, but I think he's probably more of a superstar right now than Tyrese Haliburton, because Yeah, the Pacers wouldn't have gone there without Tyrese because he had so many clutch moments. But he, like Peter said, he absolutely just ghosted. Obviously got hurt in Game 7, but I mean, he doesn't really have the offensive ability to just shoot the lights out and like take over the game with his scoring ability. But I mean, he's obviously a great facilitator.
And he has the clutch gene.
Yeah, but I mean, he can't really take over a game with his scoring ability, so I mean that makes it easier for defenses, I guess. But then he has his like little spurts, but he's just way too inconsistent to like be known as a superstar in today's game. And then also he's just out for the entire season next year, so that kind of sells the whole Pacer season, and it's probably gonna put them in a slump. This is like their only window right now to go win a finals, and they kind of sold. And now that Tyrese is out for the next season, it's kind of over for them. And it looks like the Thunder are just gonna go back to back probably because. Also, Jason Tatum's probably out for the season for the Celtics, so there's not really anyone contending them in the East. But in the West, they have some good competition. The Rockets, the Nuggets. The Rockets obviously getting KD now. I think that's a great acquisition for them. But I think it might be a little bit of a Mickey Mouse run for them next year. Who knows, though?
Yeah. Should we move on?
Yeah, we can move on.
Yeah, not a ton to talk about there. It happened a while ago. All things considered, the winner was a pretty predictable outcome, so I don't think anything too crazy happened. But, okay, so we're going to move on to baseball. First thing, let's discuss the current state of the Mariners after the All-Star break. Okay, I'll start. Obviously, Cal Raleigh, an unbelievably amazing season from our guy. He's the silver or the platinum glover last year. His defense has gotten ever so slightly worse, but he is having the greatest season a catcher's ever had. 38 nukes before the All-Star break, second most all time. He's just hammering the ball, hitting it out of the yard, home run derby champ. And everyone across the country, not just Seattle anymore, has just realized that he's such a lovable guy, he's such a likable guy. Mm-hmm. It really can make a grown man cry because we've been on this Cal Raleigh hype train. I've been on this Cal Raleigh hype train forever, since he's been in the MLB, since he was batting 180 in his first year. And now look at him, he has above 1,000 OPS. He's had that for 2 months, I think. And also one thing I'd like to point out is that he's not getting lucky at all. His batting average balls in play, which sort of tells how lucky you are. It means basically your batting average on the every hit out that you get that's in the field of play. So that's actually gone down from last year, yet his stats have gone way up. So if he goes on like a lucky streak or something, his stats will go even further up, and that's what's giving me the confidence that this isn't just a lucky season and that his performance will be sustainable. It's just a shame that he has to be next to Aaron Judge in the American League MVP race.
It's tough.
But I would not count him out. I could really see him winning it, especially if Judge goes into a slump. But right now, Judge is looking like an absolute monster.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I think there's like less than a 1% chance that Cal Raleigh wins MVP. But, I mean, Aaron Judge is literally having, I think it's probably the best hitting season from a variety of all time. But Cal Raleigh is just having the best catcher offensive season of all time. And, yeah, it just sucks that he has to be with Aaron Judge this year. But, yeah, he's just mashing right now. I mean, he kind of, went in the sort of a slump right before the All-Star break. But, like Peter said, I actually do think this is sustainable. But I don't think he's really the problem, and he hasn't been the problem this season. I think the rest of the offense and how inconsistent the pitching has been the problem.
Wait, you said Cal went into a slump before the All-Star break?
Well, I mean, all of his hits were just home runs.
Yeah, so his last 6 hits were all homers, and he was still walking. So he was basically just getting as unlucky as possible, and yet he was still doing amazing. So that should tell you what the rest of the season's going to look like.
But I saw he was 6 for 30.
Yeah,
and all those 6 home runs.
Yeah,
so.
and so many walks.
Yeah, he walks a lot, and pitchers always are scared to face Kyle Raleigh.
Yeah, that's kicked in this season, the intimidation factor. He's gotten intentionally walked a bunch. In the Tigers game, the last game before the break, it was the 9th inning, and they were already up. Mariners were already up like 6 or 7, and there was Julio was on second base or something, and they intentionally walked Cal.
Yeah.
So that shows how intimidating he is to other teams, and that's going to be really useful down the stretch in the postseason. A few more notable names on offense I would like to talk about. Before I talk about them, I think we should just say the offense has been doing so much better than we expected this year, especially on the road, which is sort of to be expected, but not as big because T-Mobile Park is not very hitter-friendly at all. But it's been a really stark difference. We've scored so many runs on the road this year. It's really been awesome. That Cubs series was a great series. Scored a bunch of runs. I'm just trying to think. There's been some crazy explosions of offense that we haven't seen in the past couple of years with the Mariners. Ever since COVID, really, we haven't seen this just consistent burst of offense. The amount of runs the Mariners were putting up in that Tiger series was just insane.
Yeah.
That's been really awesome. One person I like to talk about, J.P. Crawford. This guy is, I'm really happy with where he's gone this year. But it's just really interesting to see how much he's changed as a player. Like in 2021, he was a really defensive-minded shortstop. He wasn't slugging a lot. He had a 715 OPS. I'm looking at it right now. And then he was in the 99th percentile and outs above average defensively. And this year, it's just totally flipped on its head. He is gotten way better at offense. He's slugging a lot more. Actually, not that much more, but he's getting on base at an insane rate. He's 5th in the entire MLB in on-base percentage, I think. And that's just been amazing to see from JP. But his defense has it's gotten inexplicably bad. He's now in the 2nd percentile in outs above average 4 years after being in the 99th percentile. So he really needs to get that figured out. I'm not really sure why, to be honest, because when I watch it, I don't see anything too crazy. I think it's maybe he's just lost a step and can't really get to the balls, I guess. But that's really impacting his WAR, and it's definitely leaving an impact on the team, whether we can pick it out with our eyes or not. But I don't want to lean too much into that because we know he's capable of great defense. He's a Gold Glover. But his WRC plus is 133 this year. Great season. MLB average is 100, and then his OPS is 782. He has been getting a little lucky with his BABIP, but it's not too crazy. I wouldn't want to be concerned about it too much because he's a shortstop, and that's kind of what they do. They don't necessarily hit a bunch of nukes. They do get bloop singles. They do get infield hits. What a season from JP. I'm really liking this turnaround because at this time last year we were having, or I don't know about this time, but we were having conversations that we might have to DFA him, and he's turned into a really good contributor on offense this year. Other guys, Randy, just slugging super well.
Julio's been turning up.
Yeah, Julio. In that Tiger series, he hit rock bottom in those couple weeks leading up to it. He had a 680-something OPS, and he upped his OPS 49 points in that Tiger series alone, just walking and slugging, hitting a homer every game. Great to see. The break actually turned out to be a little detrimental for him. Maybe he's wishing he didn't skip that All-Star game. But I think it will be good for him. I think he's going to continue this because we've seen that second half Julio can really pack a punch. He's historically is way better in the second half. And all things considered, his first half was not bad. He was an all-star, and although maybe a few people like Rafael on the Red Sox should have deserved it over him, he's still one of the best defenders in the MLB in center field. And then when he gets hot, he gets hot. And I think he just needs to dial in the consistency. He just has a hard time getting warmed up, but right now he's warmed up, and I think it's going to be really key for us down the stretch.
Yeah. Also, something I want to shout out is our rookie this year, Cole Young. He's been turning it up recently. He's actually been showing off his pop at his home run against the I think it was the Tigers. But It was actually really deep. I mean, he hit one in the short porch, over the short porch against the Yankees, and I was like JP did too, and that's just kind of Mickey Mouse home run. But then he hit a deep one against the Tigers, and I'm really excited to see what Cole Young can do. And also another young guy, Ben Williamson, has been hitting really well. And like I'm really liking our roster offensively right now. Maybe one more infield bat would be really nice. Like Luke Raley's kind of
he's gotten back.
Yeah, he's chill.
One thing about Cole Young, just a quick thing to drop in, is that he had a 113 mile an hour double in that Tigers series, and his homer was like 110. I had no idea he was capable of this type of exit velo, and that's super key for a second baseman.
Yeah.
The potential is totally there with Cole Young.
Yeah, and second base is like one of the most like valuable positions in baseball. So if Cole Young can lock in as our second baseman of the future, that would be so key for our success. But we should move on to our pitching now. Our starters have been decent so far. I mean, Brian Woo's been electric.
What a season from him.
Yeah, just shout out Brian Woo. What's his ERA right now? 2.2?
I think it's 2.6.
2.6. All-star Brian Woo.
Was throwing a no-hitter against the Yankees.
Oh, yeah.
Castillo's been doing his thing. I think he's a 3.2 ERA. He's been doing well. Kirby has been dialing it in recently. He started off pretty rough and then he was injured, but he's been getting it down. And if you have that grade of stuff, you're just gonna get it down.
I think he's gonna have a Cy Young type second half. I have a feeling.
Oh, for sure.
Like he's not gonna win the Cy Young, but you know what I mean. Like he's gonna dial it in the second half because he's warming it up after his injury, and then now it's just locked in.
Yeah, people are saying that he's gonna that we should have him as a trade target, George Kirby. I completely disagree with that because just last year or the year before, people were mocking him to win the Cy Young. Yeah. And his stuff is so good, and I just think you can't.
I feel like we'd regret it, and it'd end up to bite us in the butt later on.
Yeah.
I think Bryce Miller would be a better trade.
Yeah, he has had a very rough season. He's injured right now, but I think his ERA is above 5.
But he also has great stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of potential.
It's just everything kind of hasn't gone right for our pitching staff, and yet we're still in a pretty good place as a team. So I think that's really good to look at, because everything's gone wrong pretty much, and yet we're still in a really good place. Everything's gone wrong besides sort of Brian Woo. No one could have expected the bad start from Kirby and Miller, but I think they're gonna dial it in once Miller gets back. I don't know if they're going to give him any rehab starts, but they probably will. And then, if we can get these two, offense and defense, in harmony at the same time doing well, we're going to go on a tear. We're going to go on that 14-game win streak that we went on a couple years back. And I think that's just kind of what we're waiting for. Everything just needs to click, and I can feel it's starting to start doing that. It's just the All-Star break is a little annoying that it happens right now because things were just starting to get in sync with Julio.
I know when the Mariners' offense and pitching is locked in that we are a top 5 team in MLB, for sure.
Absolutely.
No doubt in my mind. I think our pitching is top 2 when it's dialed in. I think our offense right now is, honestly, close to top 5, if not. And let's not forget about Logan Gilbert too. He's also was mocked for one of the Cy Young favorites at the start of the year. He has so much good stuff, and I think our relievers have been hated on, but I think they've shown a lot of great potential. Obviously, Andres Munoz has been amazing, and a couple, not even a couple. It was it was 2 or 3 blow up kind of sells, but other guys I really like Vargas's stuff.
Brash, obviously.
Brash is insane. His sweeper is ridiculous.
Just throws wiffle balls. I did forget to talk about Gilbert. He's still doing his thing. He's just been so consistent over his whole career, and I think it's really needed, especially in the postseason. But Matt Brash, absolutely nasty, and we're finally starting to see him become that elite pitcher that we've always hoped.
I also like Legumina, and I mean, I think our relievers are solid right now, but trading for another one, like an actual elite relief pitcher right now would be super key to our success in making a deep playoff run. I think just literally one good relief arm would take us like so much farther.
Yeah, this can kind of segue into mock trades.
Yeah.
For the deadline. This is obviously a dream, but if we're thinking of Mason Miller and Lawrence Butler, maybe potentially package from the Sacramento A's at the trade deadline. I know it's an in-division trade, so it'd be pretty rare, and it's honestly pretty unlikely because that's a huge package to give up. You're definitely gonna have to give up Harry Ford and some other stuff, probably, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure potentially what we would give up in exchange for that package, but think about how much that would improve our entire lineup. Mason Miller, we can bump Munoz down. I don't think he would mind. He's still an elite reliever. And I think maybe the pressure's been getting to him recently. I'm not sure what it's just been a few blow-up outings. And that would make that would just skyrocket our bullpen. Because Mason Miller throws absolute gas, one of the best closers in the MLB. And then Lawrence Butler, great outfielder, slugs, and then you can DH him. You can just have another bat so you're not playing these guys like Dylan Moore or people who just can't hit the baseball.
Yeah. One mock trade that I think is a really good idea, or I guess two. I think we really are desperate, besides relief pitching. We need an infield bat, specifically maybe third base or first base. And so I really like the idea of either bringing back Eugenio Suarez or trading for Alex Bregman. I think maybe Bregman might be a little too costly, but
a Naylor, Josh Naylor, and Eugenio Suarez package.
That would feed families. But I mean, honestly, Bregman for one of our starters, like Bregman for Bryce Miller, Castillo. I mean, I honestly would pull the trigger. I think, especially since we drafted Cade Anderson third overall, our pitching future, like we're able to afford. Like, I don't want to be too like just giving away pitchers, but I think we can afford trading away. Like, that's why we kind of drafted him. I think we're able to afford to trade away one of our starting pitchers, like a Bryce Miller, George Kirby, or Luis Castillo, and Emerson Hancock. I think we can like package those guys, or like I don't know. They have so much value in the trade market right now with how much potential they have. I mean, Castillo's obviously on the older side, but he has so much good stuff, and he's absolutely pushing right now. He's shoving. But Bregman was on MVP watch at the start of the season. He's a great bat. I mean, obviously former Astro, don't really like that, but he was on a tear, got injured, but I think he'd be a great addition for our infield. And then obviously Eugenio Suarez, Josh Naylor package would actually be fantastic. Fills in third base and first base slot, or just like a DH slot. But I mean, I don't know how much we'd have to give up for that. I'd give up like Bryce Miller.
I have a really interesting mock trade. Sports Illustrated posted this. I'll let Francis do the talking first, but here it is. The Mariners receive Alex Bregman and left-hand pitcher Brennan Bernardino, who has a 3.5 ERA. He's a reliever. And then the Red Sox get Luis Castillo, Jorge Polanco, and Luke Raley.
That's kind of a lot.
It's not even about like the skill of those players, I would say. It's just that we just need them in our lineup. I think it's about the skill for Polanco. But we need them, and if you're not giving us any bats in exchange, it's just not.
I wouldn't do that trade because
then if we don't have Luke Raley, then we're going to be DHing Dylan Moore every day when we're fully healthy.
Yeah, we don't have any first base DH depth without Luke Raley. Jorge Polanco is such a key bat right now. I don't know if I'd pull the trigger on that. And also, all of those guys are just like older players, and I mean the Mariners like trading and doing moves for the future. I don't really think we'd pull the trigger on something that's that for a player that like Alex Bregman, who's not even a superstar at this point in time. So I don't know if we pull the trigger on that, and I don't know if we'd want to, and I wouldn't want to. I think that's a little much for just Bregman and the prospects, but I mean, I do like the idea of getting Bregman, but yeah, if it takes that much to get him, it's probably not worth it. But
yeah, I think we definitely do need to deal Harry Ford.
Yeah,
because he's a catcher and he's in AAA right now. He was on the taxi squad for a little bit when we were down in Arizona, I think. But he's only a catcher, and he doesn't. They've tried him. He played like 8 games in outfield when he was in 1A or something, single A, and we already are kind of set at catcher, and we don't want to just be DHing a guy like straight off the bat, because then he's not really going to be able to develop into a great player. And we already have Garver, so there's just not really a place for him. And he's also not like a blue chip level prospect, but he still has a bunch of value. So I think just maybe throwing him into like a Naylor trade or for someone like that. I saw this question, the Marine Layer podcast on TikTok asked, would you trade Harry Ford for 2 months, a 2-month rental of Eugenio Suarez? And honestly,
yes.
I think I would, even though it just sounds, because he was a really high draft pick, and we've just been developing him for a while, but Suarez is going to help us win now, and that would really help put us over the edge. And I don't think Harry Ford can do that. It's just a matter of whether we can get a better trade for that. But if that was the only option, I think I would.
Okay, now we're going to transition into some golf talk. Quickly, I mean, the Open starts tomorrow. Let's quickly recap the 3 majors that have happened so far. So first, the Masters. I mean, Rory finally gets his Masters win after, I don't know, like 20 years, or like, I don't even know how long. But
after a 10-year gap in majors.
Drought.
It's just so awesome to see. And he tried. I was watching, and my dad and I made a bet, and I bet that he was going to win. And I was just sweating because he had a 5-stroke lead. He was 14 under, and then he doubled. It was just a crazy storybook ending. I felt really bad for Justin Rose. He was just playing great golf the whole way through.
I feel like everybody was rooting for Rory.
Everyone was.
So
he had to win.
I mean, Justin Rose can't really do it. I mean, he played amazing, but Rory had some of the best golf shots I've ever seen in my life. Like that one, I think it was like the 15th hole. It was I was watching that. I think he was in like the left fairway or rough, and then he had to
bent it around.
He had to draw / hook it around the tree and get it onto like not an island green, but it was surrounded by water
straight in front.
And it's like not really a big green, and he just draws it perfectly and sticks it to
I think that was on
like
7.
4 feet.
I think that was on 17.
And then his shot on 18, his approach shot, and then the playoff hole.
He misses the winning putt on 18, and then the playoff hole.
He sticks it to it rolls
birdies
back to like 2 feet and then just bangs it in.
Just a storybook
ending. His Masters win. And it was a long time coming. I mean, I'm honestly not even the biggest Rory fan, but like I think he's kind of a baby, and he's just kind of annoying sometimes. But I mean, I feel like everybody's rooting for him to get his Masters and get all 4 majors in his bag. I mean, he had so much early success at the start of his career. He was like the young phenom, but with this Masters win, he probably solidified himself as like a top 5 golfer of all time.
Personally, I like the guy just because I feel like he's real. He's dealt with a lot of struggles, and it would be really hard to be that great in the beginning and still be great, but just not, for whatever reason, just not win a major for that long of a period of time. And it was really awesome to see him break it. PGA Championship, don't really think we need to talk about it that much. Scotty just continuing his domination at Quail Hollow. And then the U.S. Open, JJ Spawn winning. That was
an insane watch.
That course is absolutely brutal. The winner was JJ Spawn was 1 under, I think.
Yeah, he was the only player under par. I mean, I don't know. This is kind of a weird thing to say, but I always want like the winner of the majors to be like a big name so that they can like, I don't know, like solidify themselves in the history books and stuff. But then like when JJ Spawn won, like at first I was like, like he's like not a big name. But then I was just thinking about Like, he's just like an actual person who like works so hard to like make money in the PGA and like works so hard to play golf. And then I saw his family, and I was just like, and he's also an Asian American. And I was just like super happy for him. He just seems like a super genuine guy. But this was like, he's never finished top 20 in a major before in his career, and the fact that he won one at Oakmont,
at a rainy Oakmont on just
probably like one of the hardest golf courses in the world. I mean, those roughs were like, that was the thickest rough I think I've ever seen in my life. This is a great win for Jay
Feel good
Spawn.
story.
I mean, the fact that he was the only one that was under par is insane.
There were a lot of breakouts. I'm looking at the top 10 right now. The only really big names I would say are Victor Hovland, John Rahm, Scotty Scheffler. But Rahm and Scheffler were tied for second. Ben Griffin was in the top 10. Yeah. He's been on a really good roll recently.
It looked like Sam Burns had it in the bag, and then he kind of got sold by the no relief from like the big puddle.
Yeah.
But I mean, also Jay Spawn caught some bad breaks too. There was this one shot where he like hit it, he stuck it close, but then it hit the pin and just rolled off the green.
Sam Burns 8 over on round 4. He was 4 under as the leader. It's brutal to see. You have any predictions going into the Open tomorrow?
I mean, from what I've seen, I just watched a couple of YouTube videos of some of my favorite YouTube golfers playing the course, and honestly, it looks pretty straightforward. It looks like a beautiful course.
Classic links golf.
Yeah, classic links golf. I think the winner's gonna be like 15 under.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
I looked when Shane Lowry, last time it was there when Shane Lowry
2019.
won it in 2019, it was, he was I think he was 14 under, but he was 5 ahead of the next.
Yeah.
I think the weather is going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think
from what I saw on the YouTube thing, it was like cloudy and not that windy. But my predictions, I mean, I kind of just want to vote for like a European because it's the Open.
Yeah.
But I mean, realistically, I could see.
I do this golf.
I honestly could see Bryson winning it. It's like not a very long course,
and he's obviously
and he's kind of been dialed recently. I mean, obviously Scotty could win it.
I think Rory has a really good shot.
Yeah.
He did really well at the Scottish Open. He was second, and the Scottish Open's like, it's just a preview to the Open, like just because of the European links golfness.
Yeah.
So I think if you look at the leaderboard of that, there's going to be a lot of similarities to the leaderboard of the Open because that's what it's usually like. I think Rory probably has the highest chance of winning. I think Justin Rose also has a really high chance. I just feel like it's going to be a European this time because it's been American the past 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Brian Harmon, and then last year was Schauffele.
If I'm rooting for a European, I'd honestly root for Victor Hovland because I feel like right now he's the best PGA player without a major.
He's just been on a roll for the past couple of years.
He's like so young and so likable, and also, I mean, I think Colin Morikawa could do really well. I also want to see some of the new studs pop off, like Sam Burns and Ben Griffin, like you were saying, like those American new guys. I mean, I think it's gonna be really fun to watch. I think it's gonna be a tight battle. I don't think it's gonna be like 2019. There's so much talent right now, and I think everybody's like in their prime right now.
This also has some pretty big Ryder Cup implications.
True.
I'm not gonna pretend like I'm like just dialed in watching the Ryder Cup.
Same.
But I know Keegan Bradley's the captain, and he's kind of in the race for that. So that's gonna be really interesting because he's been playing some really good golf recently. Justin Thomas has been playing pretty good recently. So there's a lot of implications for that, and it's going to be interesting to see how this impacts it.
I'm also rooting for I always am, but I feel like everybody just loves Jordan Spieth.
Oh yeah,
and JT. Spieth is in the drought. He hasn't won in a while, but he has so much talent. And he's also starting to get kind of old, so it's kind of sad.
It feels like yesterday I was like 8 years old on my couch. My dad was talking about Jordan Spieth, how good he was, and now he's like he just fell off an absolute cliff after that tear he was on in 2016. He's just
Chambers Bay.
Yeah, it's really sad, and I just don't see him putting the pieces together. I'm always rooting for him. I could see JT putting him together.
Because he's had recent success.
Yeah.
I mean, he won the
PGA
championship,
like 2021, 2022.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Spieth could have like a Tiger moment.
But it's just, I don't know if it's going to be at the Open. I feel like that would be maybe a more difficult course like the U.S. Open because he's so skilled.
Yeah.
But he does he makes some pretty...
Like his tee shots are kind of errant sometimes.
He makes some his mistakes are bad when he makes them.
But his short game is so dialed.
And he's just a great shot maker.
Yeah. Also, I want to talk about quickly, I mean, I'm not going to say you act like I'm a big tennis fan, but I do follow tennis. And Jannik Sinner just won the Wimbledon. And I was talking to my dad about it, and it's kind of insane that the dominance in tennis right now. We were talking about how Alcaraz and Sinner have each won the last 7 majors in tennis, which is kind of insane. I mean, there's so much talent right now in tennis, but it's kind of like a Federer, Djokovic, and Nadal.
Yeah, this situation has potential to be like our generation's.
Yeah, it's kind of insane.
Big 3.
The last 7 for 2 people is kind of ridiculous, and then there's young talent like Ben Shelton. I mean, honestly, I don't think he's that great, but I think he's developing still, and I mean his serve is obviously insane. And then there's also just guys that are always in the running, like Taylor Fritz and stuff, and I mean Djokovic is still there. Wow, he can't really keep up, but I mean it's just looking like absolute dominance, and if they don't get injured, I generally don't see either of them not winning a major in any of the few next couple, many majors to come. So it's kind of crazy to watch that. I mean, sports are kind of at a peak right now. I think the NBA. I had so much fun watching the NBA this season.
They're just way more amplified in the summer. I think it's just everything's just better, especially MLB. MLB has just been amazing recently.
Yeah, especially because the Mariners have kind of been on a tear. I mean, not even really. It's just the
offensive tear.
Yeah, it's just fun. I mean, it's fun to watch our team just blow up the stat sheet offensively. The Mariners had the highest scoring series since 2002 with a 3-game series. It was 35 runs, which is ridiculous. Over 10 runs a game. I mean, yeah, I guess we're back to the Mariners now, but this season for the Mariners I think has more potential than our playoff season when we beat the Blue Jays and then lost the Stros. But I mean, would you agree with that, Peter, or no?
Honestly, yeah. We have way more offensive, star power this season. We never had a guy we did have Cal, but we didn't have the Cal that we have now.
Yeah.
And also our rotation has way more potential than it did back then, and you could argue that it's better than it was back then, just right now.
For sure. What was our rotation?
Our bullpen.
Our bullpen was probably better then, though.
Our bullpen was better then.
Yeah.
But that's sort of the only thing. It's just this team, we haven't put the pieces together, and we're still doing fine. And in that season, all the pieces were clicking, and that's how far we got. So I think that should tell you something.
Oh, that was our Robbie Ray year.
Yeah. And when they brought him in.
We had Castillo, right? And
we traded for him at the deadline.
Yeah. I mean, our rotation was so good that year, though. But our offense was good, but like Peter was saying, it's just all clicking. But I don't think. I mean, it wasn't even all clicking because Jesse Winker was slumping. Adam Frazier wasn't amazing.
Well, Jesse Winker didn't even really slump. He never did.
Well, he was so good on the Reds before that, and then he just kind of wasn't amazing. He was probably batting 230 or something.
And he was the worst defender in the history of Major League Baseball. Oh my God, I've never seen a player be that lazy.
And also we had an old Carlos Santana. We saw J-Rod.
But Santana was we're getting we're squeezing some value out of him.
Yeah. But I mean, that was a legendary season. And the Cal clinching home run, that was legendary.
Yeah.
And then the Blue Jays game, that was I think that's maybe the best baseball game I've ever watched in my life. And I remember golfing, watching the Astros game when we put in Robbie Ray in the 9th inning, and Jordan just goes deep to left field or right field, and it's just I broke my phone because I threw it on the ground on the Epic golf course, and it just destroyed my phone.
I was also at the golf course, and I slammed my putter into the ground.
Yeah,
it was a pretty bad experience for pretty much every Mariners fan.
Yeah,
but I think this season is going to be better, honestly. I really do. I think we could make it super far. I'm not going to say World Series, but I'm also not going to say
it. What if we just don't make the playoffs? That would be so sad. I mean,
honestly, I would be sad, but there's still a lot. I mean, there would something... we're not going to think about that right now.
I would be really sad because I feel like it's every year where I feel like we just have like a really good future and like farm system, and like our talent's not going to leave. But then like I'm kind of sick of doing that, and I feel like right now we're like almost at our peak of where like all of our players are basically hitting their peak.
The only thing I would be really excited for is Cade Anderson.
Cade Anderson.
Oh my God, the best player in the draft fell to us.
But by the time he comes up,
he's gonna be
starting. We're probably gonna.
But he's gonna be up by this time next year.
Yeah, probably. But we're probably gonna get rid of one of our guys.
We're gonna have to get rid of Miller probably.
I'm kind of excited, honestly, to see who we let go and what we get back in return.
I've seen so many people talking about how high his floor is.
Yeah,
but that's really not saying he's doesn't have high potential at all. Just awesome to see. Hopefully, he follows in the footsteps of the other LSU pitcher, Paul Skeens, and then we just have the greatest rotation of all time on our hands.
Yeah, just a finishing note. That MLB draft was like the stupidest thing I've ever watched. What was that first overall and second overall pick were so stupid? Willits and Bremner.
The Willits one
was fine, but
it makes
the
a little
second one.
Well, the Angels are just very cheap, and they don't want to pay anyone else, so that's, I guess, the reason why they did that. But it's just so dumb.
If they're gonna take a picture and not take Cade Anderson, like Bremner wasn't even the top. I didn't see a single mock draft with him being top 10.
Take Seth Hernandez. He's coming out of high school.
Yeah,
he definitely has a higher or a lower contract that you have to pay him. So if you look at the cheapness of the MLB, we just need a salary floor in this league because teams can just get away with perennial mediocrity.
Yeah, if you look at the stats, Cade Anderson was 15-1 with a 3 ERA and the best division in college baseball of all time, and then
SEC baseball.
Bremner was playing for UCSB and had not a great record, and then had a 3.3 ERA in a bad division. It's kind of insane that they just that's kind of really stupid to pass. And Cade has better stuff too. It's not even
he's better at everything.
Yeah, literally everything. And he's also a lefty, so.
Mm-hmm.
And he's LSU. So anyway, that's gonna wrap up this episode. Then they might have gotten a little ranty, but thank you so much for listening all the way through. Make sure to stay tuned and, like I said, hit the notification bell because there's gonna be a lot of content coming up soon.
Yeah,
especially in August.
I'll be posting on TikTok and
same.
YouTube in the next couple of days, hopefully.
From the Sideline Pod on TikTok, From the Sideline with Francis and Peter on YouTube. Make sure to go follow those as well. A lot of football. I'm going to be posting some fantasy stuff and still a lot of Seahawks and football stuff in general on TikTok and YouTube. So thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Bye.